Hello and welcome to a Minecraft Musings. Let's go ahead and go to sleep so we can have a nice new day. Uh, yes, happy Friday. It is the weekend. Happy Easter Friday if you celebrate, or I believe Passover. I think I was just looking at a calendar, or just happy weekend in general. Or yes, happy Friday. So, uh, yeah, sorry, trying to think of where to begin. It was an alright. It was an easy enough day work wise, but social wise, actually, I guess this wasn't even today. This was yesterday, or maybe I sent the message this morning. But anyways, I'm talking to a buddy that, well, I mean, we we were classmates in a class. We're from the same county. We just never knew each other back home. He is very adamant anti-liberal, anti-left, anti-Biden, a lot of this stuff. And I get it. Like a lot of this stuff does make sense. I'm not like denying that. It's just like he has a way of regurgitating just tons of garbage all at once, and then it's like I got to read through a book. Then he sends me voice memos and stuff. So like we're trying to figure out a proper communication. So, and right now, and what I'm telling him is I want a Google Doc of everything, all of his complaints. Why is he mad? Why, and what can be done about it too. Like, I mean, 'cause that's the other thing. I didn't include that last part, and I need to do the same. And so I'm gonna verbally do it here. Excuse me. And then, hold on. I'm gonna muse about it like I usually do here. Talk about it, talk it through, and I'm talking about like Elon Musk, President Trump, all that, President Biden, former President Biden, um, and everything. Ukraine. Like I've actually been pretty vocal about my opinion about that. Like I don't know. So, but like, and it's just that thing, and like he's swept up in the politics, like the anger, like the rabble, like they're trying to get your emotions going, and right now the current thing is like this supposed MS-13 gang member, which I did just see the president post a picture of him in the Oval Office holding up a picture of the alleged gang member's hand, his knuckle tattoos, and it does look like an MS-13 gang tattoo. I guess like the marijuana plant is the M, the there's a smiley face with the X's for eyes. That's like S for smile. But oh, and actually I was gonna say it's Spanish, so that doesn't even make sense, but it does because marijuana is a Spanish word, even though it really should be CB or CS14. Oh, wait. It's CS13, sorry. There is a 14 and a 13. Like, 13 is supposed to be like south side, 14 is supposed to be like north side, and all that stuff. And even then, like, what I've found gangs out to be is like, and not to downplay any of it, like, I mean, it is very real for a lot of people, but for the majority of people that I've met in and out of gangs, it's more like, I mean, it is still serious, but to a point. It's like a high school, like, club, and then once you're kind of done with high school or that age, and not saying that like if you don't graduate high school, you're not whatever. Like all of these fill in the blanks. Like I'm not trying to say anything. I'm not trying to say. It's just that age group where the prefrontal cortex isn't fully developed. Like the passion, like you're much more like eager to fix the world or fight the wrongs or or more impulsive because your brain is just not fully developed yet. And so, um, and you learn that in things like rehab and drug classes and all that. Like we're well aware of it, and we're trying to like communicate that. And even outside of it, like I think Dare is even starting to do like, um, actually I don't even honestly know if they still do Dare, but I think that like people, parents, included, are teaching their kids about the way the brain works and why things are the way they are. And of course, waiting until an appropriate age, like don't tell your kids about drugs in middle school. Like I mean, by fifth grade is when I learned about them as it was to get me ready for middle school and beyond, which is weird because personally, well, okay, actually, that's a lie. I was going to say I waited until high school almost, but I think I was actually maybe closer to 13 when I first tried it. But it wasn't like I just started like, just ripping a big old bong or something. Just like, I don't know, it was just In fact, and I think I've said this before on this series, but like I don't even remember my first time smoking bud. Like it just isn't wasn't that important. I mean, it was for a long time, but now it's like, okay, you know, it's like I don't remember the first time riding a bike. I remember a time riding a bike, but I don't really remember my first time, you know. So, anyways, and also one of the projects here, a couple projects. So I added a chest in for food for the bees. In fact, let's go feed some bees. And I'm actually going to need, well, let's do this, and then this one. And we gotta move it here. There. Just so it's close by. So I'm gonna try to feed the bees that I see. Hello. Yes, now you. For now. Well, I guess if it's a fire, that one doesn't work. But there we go. Because they're supposed to come out and be all mad. Alright. Yes, now you go over there. Alright. So I need more bees. Where'd you go? Little baby bee. There you go. There's a little baby bee. Okay. Because there's so many of these hives, and there's a lot of them that are empty like that one. Let's see, like, if there isn't a campfire, they're supposed to come out and attack you, but this is also in peaceful, so even if they do come out, they're grumpy for like a split second, and then they're peaceful again, so. Which, and honestly, I kind of would prefer it if there was no need for a campfire, because it actually is dangerous. Like, I've had bees, well, get hurt. That's why I put them only like directly the unit below. So you can't technically pass into that, I don't think. I mean, I haven't seen a bee get lit on fire. And it was kind of traumatic. I was like, oh no. And then like I was trying to help the bee and I was like pushing it. I couldn't figure it out in time. And so like, I think the bee actually, I don't know. It might have survived, might have died. I honestly don't know. But I want to say it died. So that's not good. Also, another thing that can happen is they can wander away to like a whole nother area, I think. So, yeah. Because if you don't tend to it after a while, you start to end up with like more of a ghost town. Although interesting that all of these, oh, there we go. So there's a bee. Whoops. Eats the, okay, well, I'm gonna take it. Oh, there we go. And I started adding honeycombs, like the blocks, to the back of the house. Oh, nice. Okay. There's a lot of these now. We're getting good there. Plus, I was over here earlier, but before it was down to like I want to say like 5 bees. Like not even kidding. It was pretty sad and like so. But now they look like they're doing good. So, anyways, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a Google Docs of the pros and the cons of people, and then instances where they were either correct, incorrect, or misleading. I mean, there's like a whole range of, there's actually like 2 or 3 more categories of misinformation or poor communication. See, these are the things. Like, and it's important to understand that because like, and I know I've said this before, Trump's speech to Congress, it had a lot of good things. And if you didn't know any better, and if you just met him at that speech, you'd be like, oh wow, this seems like a great guy. Like, he's very well spoken, like the things he's saying make sense, like it makes a good argument. I don't see why anybody, and then the fact checking happens. And it's like, okay, well he exaggerated this. Well now it's not as scary of a situation because the numbers aren't like that. And see, I even made this like, there's a campfire under there, that's why there's smoke coming up. But it's like there's no way that the bee can get hurt with that. And I was experimenting with that. But then I think I realized that you can't really do it as long as there's not one space between them. Like that is one block and then the other block. So that's like saying if you put a slab down, you can't really get in between a slab and another block, even if you were a bee. I don't think. Yeah. Oh no! Okay, if you push them, you can. I'm so sorry, bee. I'm so sorry. It was for science. Oh, and also there's these cacti flowers. Now I feel really bad. Just burned a bee. And it's not code slang for anything. That really is just like set a bee on fire almost. I'm sorry, bee. So, oh, that's a little one. Let's go and grow you up. There you go. You two make a little one, which is a little strange. But anyways, so with Elon and Doge, like they've been doing a lot of like, oh, there's fraud here and there's all this spending here and blah blah blah, and it sounds really scary at face value, but then or at first, but then you dig into it a little bit and you're like, oh, well, that's not as scary. Like the IRS or the Social Security thing is a perfect example because I think I saw somewhere the actual amount of fraudulent payments that they found, which was like a fraction of like what you would think it was. Or I don't know. I think it was actually still kind of bad. So I am glad that they audited it. But people need to know that. Like people need to have at a glance the numbers of like, okay, well, what's the significance of this? What's the relevance? And why should I care? And if you can answer all of those things, and then also play the devil's advocate and poke holes in it, also got to try to find a way up into the actual. Throat's just really dry. All right. But you got to like prove and disprove everything and make it easy to understand and just lay it out there. And the problem is most people have to like they write these big articles that after you've read like the whole thing, you sit there and take like 3 to 5 minutes, which for a lot of people, sitting and focusing on one thing for 3 to 5 minutes is even that is asking a lot. Like, especially if you're working hard, you're stressed, or you don't have a good job with like good, healthy work-life balance, like having to do that, and then imagine having to do that like 3 or 4 times. Well, now your fact checking just got up exponentially painful, and so a lot of people just deflect to like, okay, well, if it's not a quick minute thought or read, I don't want to hear it. And so then people fill that, like clog it with false or misleading information that scare and manipulate and should be borderline illegal. Like, I mean, depending on, like, that's like violating the peace if you're intentionally manipulating, basically using negative social engineering to push an agenda or perspective that benefits you in some way. Like, and especially if it's a direct kickback, like, anybody getting paid to be political influencers or, well, and actually technically anybody on XApp is being paid to be an influencer of some kind. And I interact with a lot of accounts and I repost like a lot of accounts that I don't agree with, and I'm adding to their account engagement by arguing with them. So they love it. And especially when I argue with people in their replies of their posts, but I like it because I want everybody to know that not everybody who votes left or right is insane or evil or whatever. And that's the problem with like this guy that I'm starting to talk to again is he's he's just so quick to shoot from the hip, and I get it. Like he's not an irrational person. He's not an idiot. But he's just got all this stuff bottled up, and he hates Democrats so much that when he finally gets to, oh hey, what's up, man? I told him about my plan of like meeting up with famous rappers and trying to do the hippie farms, which has zero to do with politics. And like I was like, I want to try to help people as they're coming out of prison, and we start ending the war on drugs. Some prison to community reintegration stuff. And actually, this is cool. We just have like a couple of rows around the house. But anyways, a lot of famous rappers, especially Dre and Snoop, like they would love, I'm sure, I'm just guessing, but if they're people, oh hey, I'm a people, and if they have friends, so all the Crips, and then you go with like Redman, Method Man, and the Wu-Tang and all them, there's all the Bloods, and then you've got all these friends that are in jail or have people that were in jail or know people that family members or friends or even worse, like people that have died in like the gang violence and stuff. Which, and I want to take a moment real quick to point out the old gangs are pretty much dissolving. I mean, there's still like the new blood coming in and getting all feisty and all that, but the majority of like the old bangers, like in the 90s, hip hop and rap stars and their accompanying groups are mellowing out. Like they're collabing with each other. It's not East Coast versus West Coast, which for the longest time was like the thing. I remember, I want to say like Tommy Boy or maybe it was Black Sheep where it was talking like gang violence and you need, or no, it was Malibu's Most Wanted. That's what I'm thinking of. They were talking about ending gang violence, like East Coast, West Coast. which for the majority of people, that was just an awkward time because I loved Snoop Dogg and I loved Wu Tang, and I hated that they hated each other. Technically, I mean, I don't think they ever explicitly said to each other, but they hated the other color, like red versus blue. But even that, most of that was manufactured by the record labels to sell records like beef. Like they could get angry and like cuss at each other and like, go after each other's family and mom and all this and like, and then have it just be like to sell records, which was messed up. And I'm glad that we're getting away from that. Um, oh, also I added some more produce down here. It was just this section. Now I made it this section and this section. I didn't need as many melons. I still left those because why not? But I mean, I have the bottom two floors. I just that just means I have to go down further. Or I could make half of these into melons to balance it out. That's fine too. Technically, I don't need pumpkins or melons right now. I already have such a big stash that if I need to trade. Oh, and I'm level 94. I wonder if you can get. I hit level 100 in the movie event, which was awesome. I wish that was just a permanent thing, to be honest. But the movie event, I wonder if you could download it actually. Huh. Because I got to level 100. Oh, and there's also my concrete powder. Let's do that while we're talking. All right. So I'm trying to make. I don't remember what. I think it was like supposed to match with the Ministry of Peace. Oh no, I was gonna make a ghast. But anyways, now I just have a ton. See, this is the dangerous thing. So like they all fall. If you do it too much, see, yep, they start falling up top. So now I have the concrete powder. So anyways, let's just. I don't even know how many I have. It's at least 3 stacks. Should probably put dirt behind it as a backdrop. Oh, actually, that's working pretty good. Yeah, that's really good because it was almost at like build height. like, uh, so now I have a ton of white concrete blocks and white concrete powder. I don't know what I'll build. I mean, I have a lot of diorite for the ski mountain and the temple and all that. Now the problem is, oh yeah, they're gonna be floating around everywhere and also on top of this tree. Maybe? Huh. That's like death. Oh man. Alright, well I guess it was just those floaters and so all together. Ooh. So let's see what it looks like. Compared to the other stuff, maybe. We're already back to nighttime too. That was one funny thing about the movie that they talked about how short the nights or the days were. Actually, I guess I don't really care. I mean, I like the night and the dark. Oh, that's the other thing. I got this project going on in here. Well, I need to get a silk touch pickaxe to harvest these because I want to keep them as ores. And look at that. It looks so cool, like the emerald, the city texture pack. But this, I'm making this into my storage area. And once I figure out lights, like block lights, maybe glowstone, that would work. And I want to do 3 tall. Actually, yeah, let's do that. So we'll do all the concrete here. I mean, I just want to make like a big storage area. Ooh, it's raining. Nice. I love the rain. Oh, we don't get a lot of it here in Colorado. Alright, so I'm looking for... It's about to get violent with some cows. I apologize. Or maybe first I'm going to see if I have any. So I have those. Excuse me. And then I have sticks. And... Okay. So I'm going to need a lot of sticks and I'm going to need a lot of cows. So basically I need an item frame for every single... Is it this one? Yeah. Okay. So I need an item frame for every single chest in the storage room. And I'm slowly making this entire mountain into like a mountain fortress with all sorts of like military training areas, like mob fighting areas. Like that's where the armory actually backs up to. That's where like I'll turn it out to peaceful and just have a bunch of mobs spawn in there. Not here though, as you can see the torches are up because I want these cows to be safe until they're not safe for me. I mean, I'm gonna guess we need at least like 100. Even just for that room, there's 4 in each of those stacks. We're probably looking at like 40 or 50. So, and then I'm gonna do like a side behind it and just have one for every little thing, basically. I remember I spent a lot of time on this on the original realm that I had, or the map that I used for the realm when I was back in my other house, or condo. And it took me quite a while. But it had like everything, and everything wasn't in its own box. I gave up after that for a bit, because if you're gonna put like a box or a chest for each individual item that you can pick up, and for one, it wasn't feasible for some items like ender pearls. You're not gonna have a chest full of stacks of ender pearls unless you're just psychotic and you just fight non-stop endermen, which you could, and actually that's what like that room in the inventory is for, which I might go show it. But it is a lot of work, and like not every enderman drops an ender pearl, so you at least have to kill, what was that, 64 times. I think a chest is twice as much as this inventory. I know, I think it's like 9 tall by, what is this, 4, 9 wide. It's like a 9 by 9, so 81 stacks of 64. So whatever 81 times 64 is, it's insane. I mean, just 80 times 80 is what? 6,400? I don't know, actually. I want to say that's right, but I don't know. It's a lot. And just imagining doing that many ender pearls. Now, it's a lot easier when you can get a stack of, like, wheat, like I'm doing. It's a lot easier, a heck of a lot easier to get a chest full of wheat. It's also hard getting a chest full. Like, I wouldn't get a chest full of cows, like, or meat or leather. Actually, let's just go ahead and do the first. There we go. 33. The Freemason number. Oh, 34. Oh, my voice just cracked a little bit. Alright. So now we have that. Now we need sticks. These are like my project chests, and that's actually why I ended up making that area, because this was just getting way too full. Got some spruce logs here. There. Okay. Ah. Alright, it's 26, that's good. I don't want to use up all the wood. Not trying to rhyme either, but... Alright. Also wait. Ugh. Oh, look at that. Just right. Two more. Or two left over. Okay. So now... Oh, whoops. We need to do... It's not very descriptive. I should have a different color. Yeah, let's go and just leave that powder in there. We can do that for there. And that could be our animal... Oh, wait, no. There we go. Could be our random animal stuff, and... Actually, we should keep crops different. So there we go. We can have crops. We can have animal byproducts. Take the... And this would be miscellaneous. Oh, there we go. Item frameception. So that's the junk drawer. That's actually pretty good to just have. Oh, in fact, there you go. Huh. I guess you can't color them after, unless maybe with like a crafting table. Ooh, it's snowing. Or it was. Wow. Just the dye. I need all the other items. That's okay. Oh, but actually, let's go ahead and empty out all this stuff. There's just so much stuff. Like, look at all that. It's ridiculous. The feathers, string, and sticks. That can all go to the armory. I'm saying with that. Food is fine. Job blocks. Alright. Yeah, and it's going to take a while to set all that up. But once I have it, and it's actually kind of far too, I might want to rethink this. I've already built it, so I guess kind of a little late now for this one. But I could make another one. It doesn't have to be like exclusively this. But making multiple, that does sound like a lot of work. Let's see, bread. What's more produce? Baked potato. There is really no rhyme or reason yet. We've got junk drawer, which actually I'm just going to throw all this stuff in. Wait, move the dyes at least. Oops. I haven't really done any comparing and contrasting at all. Like, all right, let's go back to Elon as we're like finishing up the episode. Yeah, it's 29 minutes, like 20 seconds. So I don't know. There's a lot of good and bad with Elon. Like the brain chip is the biggest one. If he can get that going, and like that could literally fix anything wrong with the body. Like if you need a new arm, new leg, new eye, new heart, new anything, like the brain signals, he could restore vision. He could restore hearing. Like you still need the other physical components. So like I did see that we just grew like a tooth in the lab that actually works, I guess. And then like they're growing hearts and ears and stuff. But it does no good if the brain can't intercept it. So I don't know. But you can almost like bypass and just like put the image in your brain of like, hey, you're seeing this or you're hearing this, and like it can put the correct data into your brain, almost like a computer. So it's like a mushy living computer. All right. Well, anyways, that's my time for this one. I think I might switch it up. I'm trying to level up in Fortnite, so we shall see. Or I might just decide to watch some movies, and I need to go to the store. Oh, oh, and I got the Tiki Taki going on in the family iPad, our old iPad. So now I might start doing some of that shenanigans. So, anyways, happy Friday. Ta ta for now, and I will see you in the next one.